So, the next book I'm going to talk about is actually more because of the author than it is because of the book. The book itself is wonderful, and I did really enjoy it. And it was a book that my one of my English teachers, probably eighth grade again, actually. Now that I think of it, probably eighth grade. What the heck with the eighth grade? Okay, well, one of my teachers had us read it, and what she told us about the book, about the author specifically, has been like a motivation for me in my life, like to um, not to let like things get me down, that I can still do what I want even if the odds aren't like entirely in my favor. If I love something, I can do it. That's what my takeaway from this author's story, at least what she told us about this author's story. I haven't looked it up since then, so if it is wrong, it's because my teacher told me wrong, but I am like it stuck with me. Okay, so the book itself is called The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. I do have the description. I will read it to you. It is by Avi, and so what I heard about Avi is that he had like dyslexia. He had dyslexia, and he had to draft a lot to be able to get his books done, and yet he still wrote like a beautiful book. The book is pretty amazing. I do enjoy it. Or I do enjoy it. I read it once. I did enjoy it. But that fact that he had dyslexia and that he like worked through it, that he made it work, and he still got published. He still wrote beautiful stories. Has always stuck with me. So like, if that's not true, don't. If that's not true, don't tell me. But that's what I heard about him, okay? I'm gonna read the description with my handy dandy spectacles. I'll put the book right up here while I'm reading so that you can look at that instead of me, because my face will be turned this way because there's nothing here. There's nothing back here for me to like hold it up so that I can just read it from behind. I'll have to figure out a setup someday if I do more of these or more content like this, but for now, you guys get to look at the book. Um, an ocean voyage of unimaginable consequences. Not every 13-year-old girl is accused of murder, brought to trial, and found guilty, but um, but I was just such a girl, and my story is worth relating, even if it even if it did happen years ago. Be warned, however, if strong ideas and actions offend you, read no more. Find another companion to share your idle hours. For my part, I intend to tell the truth as I lived it. Such a strong way to say that. I love that. So, I don't feel like it's a big spoiler. Charlotte's very, um, for the time period that it's being described. I think she's like a Victorian girl, like not even a full woman. She's like a girl. Um, Considering that the time period that it's supposed to be written in, total feminist. Love that for her. I remember, I please remember that I only read it once, and that it was like this isn't the most influential book in my life. It's mostly the author that I like keep referring back to in my brain, and this is like the one book that I remember solidly reading about, not about, but like from him. And this is the book that I was like reading when I got that detail. But um, I do remember little like pieces of the book, and what I remember is that like she was stubborn and like hardworking, and that she refused to just like sit on her laurels. She was like in it. She was not just like, oh no, I'm just a girl on a boat full of men. Like she was working. And then there was like this dichotomy of like her trying to be herself and them getting closer and closer to the destination, and she would have to like go back into this lifestyle of being much more feminine. And I believe, spoiler, at the end, spoiler, that she runs away to go like back out to sea. She refused to um conform to society. I love that. I love that. I love that so much. Um, but like I said, the book itself is very good, and I do like it, and I would recommend it for like young girls. I probably wouldn't reread it again as an adult. I just don't want to. But yeah, like Avi is the main thing here for me. Like the author is the main reason that I remember this book, because I heard that he had dyslexia and that he fought through that to write something beautiful. And like for a dude to write like a fairly feminist, and it's not the most feminist literature I've ever read, to be fairly feminist, I'm sorry, but I didn't see that a lot when I was in middle school. Okay, if you wanted like feminist literature, you had to read from women. You couldn't read from dudes. So like that was cool too. Um, yeah. So I do very much like that book. The cover that I showed, um, that's not the cover of the book that I read because I do remember the cover, but where I got my source of to get the sticker, didn't have that option, so you guys get the super old looking cover. Um, but yeah, it's a good book. It's a fun book. If you have like 12-year-olds in your life, wonderful book. So